favorite thing you've ever found?
Oh, a stolen car, maybe.
What?
Yeah. They'll drive a stolen car behind the school and like light it on fire.
Before we get started with our episode, we're going to hear from our sponsors. Be a better you in 2024 with Babbel, the science-backed language learning app that actually works. My favorite thing about Babbel is that its speech pronunciation technology helps you make sure that your pronunciation is correct and also helps you better your accent. So here's a special limited time deal for our listeners. Right now, get up to 60% off on your Babbel subscription. But it's only for our listeners at babbel.com/Rebecca. Get up to 60% off at babbel.com/Rebecca. Spelled BABBEL.com/Rebecca. Rules and restrictions may apply. Hey guys! I think most of y'all would agree with me when I say you can only really express your true self with your closest friends. My friends know me inside and out, and because of that, I can share anything with them. But friendships, like anything else, can be kind of hard to keep up with when life gets crazy. It can be schools, chores, jobs, or even when a best friend moves and has to change schools. Luckily, Instagram is here to save the day because they allow me to create close friends lists that allow me to send stories to just my besties. Like, maybe it's a funny meme that I found while scrolling, or maybe it's that photo I took while I was ugly crying during that sappy rom-com. I love being able to share that easily with just close friends to give them a laugh. There's a saying that goes, "It's just the little things," and I swear it's still true. Because thanks to Instagram, I can share that everyday ridiculousness with my close friends. Listen, I'm a bit of an expert when it comes to losing my keys and my wallet and just about anything that I need to leave the house, really. And that is why I've been stocking up on tile trackers. I just attach one to my keys, put one in my wallet. It's really simple. I just use the app to ring my tiles and I can find exactly where my cats clearly misplaced my belongings. Visit tile.com and use code Rebecca to get 15% off on all tiles. That's tile.com, code Rebecca. Now let's get started with this week's episode. How do you want to start it? Oh, there you go, Lena. I love you.
That's how you want to start it.
That's how we're starting it?
Yeah. Little clap on.
For those who don't know, like, you have to start, y'all don't ever see the clap, but the clap is always there. Because, like, when you have multiple camera angles and then you make, like, a sound noise or a sound wave,
right.
it lets the editors line up all the video and audio. And I know you know that.
I do. It's like in true teacher form. Yeah. Everybody clap.
Yeah. We couldn't figure out how to start today's episode. So, like that. That's how we're doing it.
Listen up.
So, hi, Jimmy.
How you doing?
I'm so good. I'm so glad that you're hanging out with me today.
I'm pumped. This is cool.
We've been just like hanging and chatting for like hours already.
Yeah.
And I love it.
Yeah, we're best friends.
Yeah,
already.
I love it. So I'm so excited that you like spontaneous decided to join me today. That I really appreciate that.
Of course, yeah.
So
anytime.
I would love if you could tell everyone what you do. Like I'm so excited. I ramble. You can tell me to shut up. Okay, go ahead.
Right?
Go ahead.
What I do in general. Like,
yes, like your day job.
My day job. I say janitor.
Okay.
But some people don't.
Some people don't like that.
They don't like it.
Is that a change? Like, lately I've been hearing more like custodial staff. Why do people not like the term janitor?
Well, it's like teachers. Some want to say educator.
Okay.
You know?
But you don't have a preference.
Want to step it up a little, like make it sound a little more prestigious and professional. I like it. I think it's great. I don't know. Some people say janitor's not.
Okay.
They don't do as much as custodian. It's a whole.
Is there a difference between a janitor and a custodian?
I don't think so.
Okay.
But I think
some people might think so. I don't actually know.
Actually, janitor it's a Greek god Janus. That's where it comes from.
Really?
Yeah, gatekeeper, the keys. Yeah.
I never knew that.
So these custodians don't know, and custodian derives from the word custard. I'm just kidding.
No, I'm just kidding. Learning.
No, but janitor, for real, it does.
You know,
come from,
me, social studies, me, I loved that. I was like eating
that
it
is
all
true.
up.
No, but that is true about the god.
Okay, then I feel like that is really prestigious.
Right?
Sounding,
so gotta
that
spread
sounds
that.
very
More
professional to
people
me.
should know that. Yeah.
I would love to know, like, if someone in the comments does know, like, if you're someone that doesn't like the term janitor, I just want to know why. I just want to know why.
Right, because
Yeah.
I think it had a bad connotation. But, and, you know, it's like lunch lady now is a nutritionist, the whole thing.
Interesting. I didn't know that that term was
secretary,
changing.
secretaries and, you know, administrative.
Yeah, as administrative assistants. Yeah.
You know what I mean? So everything
Yeah,
kinda,
title changes have been a thing lately.
Yeah,
So like how did you get into that? Like how did you decide, okay, this is what I'm doing?
Well, failing a little bit in high school, you know,
It happens.
being a slacker,
Uh-huh.
I was like, oh, I'm probably going to have to be a janitor. That's how it, no. But truly, like my dad was a janitor, and I kind of, you know, I had a lot too much fun in high school. That's
It happens.
how it started.
It does happen.
You know, and then, you know, I got the job, and it turned out to be, I had a daughter really young, so I needed a job. So I was like, all right, janitor, boom, got that. I'll do this for 6 months, and I went back to school on the side, and I spent so many years as a janitor going to school that by the time I was like graduating community college,
Uh-huh.
I was already building up so much time with the city,
Yeah.
and so much benefits and sick time and vacation that I transferred to a university to go to school.
Right. What were you
And I
getting your degree
just
in?
dropped
Sorry, I did not mean to
criminal
interrupt.
justice.
Oh, fun.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Sorry, continue. Okay.
Yeah, so and then I dropped out. I go, what am I doing? I go, this is cool. Like, I like what I'm doing. I actually fell in love with the job.
Really?
Yeah.
I love that. That's
Yeah.
so important to me for people to like what they do. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I love that so much. So like you and I always ask this question, and I ask it from a more like accessible term because you never know like who's listening and who's like, okay, this job sounds fun. Like this job sounds whatever. Like what do you need in order to apply for that kind of job to be a custodial staff or janitor? Like any kind of requirements at all, or is it like entry level?
It's like the opposite of requirements.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it's like it's
You
really
need to
accessible
lack
to people.
things. No, it is. But there was an exam. I took an exam to get the job.
Really?
Civil service exam.
What kind of
Yeah.
exam? Like
You know, like the ones they give to the firefighters and police.
I didn't know that they
Yeah,
had the
janitors.
same kind of
Yeah, we're all the
exam.
same
Like what
company.
were you tested on?
Just like, you know, ABCs, you know, how would you clean a window?
Interesting.
That
How
type
do you
of thing.
study for that?
I think they want this to be like inherent knowledge, like stuff that you can,
So they're testing like your common sense.
common sense.
Okay.
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay,
You know,
that's fair.
what would you do? Yeah, like, you know, what kind of, the fire extinguisher thing you had to study for because it was different types
Yeah.
of fire extinguishers.
Yeah.
You don't want to use a fire extinguisher that's made for like an electrical fire on like another kind of fire.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
You
that can
don't
make
wanna
it
mix-
worse.
Yeah. But now all the extinguishers are like multi-purpose. But anyway, that was
No,
kind of
that's so
stuff.
interesting. So what about it really made you fall in love with that job?
I kind of, early on, this is years before I started stand-up or content creation, any of that, I fell in love with like becoming like janitor as like making it cool.
I love that.
And
As you should.
It was always my shtick, even to like my friends, family, whatever, or people at the school. I wanted it to be like, no, this is what you want to be. You know what I mean? This is not like something to look down on.
I know it. Absolutely not. Definitely not.
So I like, you know, I kind of made it like a thing, you know, like a janitor, just a whole janitor swag, I guess. You know what I mean? Like
I love
this
that.
is, you know, my key, from my keychain to everything was like part of
Like
my
owning it.
personality.
Yeah.
Just owning it. Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah.
Was there like a particular thing that like, because you said that you were just so into it for so long that you ended up leaving university.
Yeah.
Like, what were some of the things that you just found joy in the job?
Well, I think it was like the routine, you know, the cleaning routine. You go in, it's kind of meditative. You have
Yeah.
like this thing you go do, you sweep in, you mop in, and it's very like calming.
Yeah.
I still look forward to it every day. Like I start my school day. I started on nights.
So you're stationed like at a school.
Yeah.
Okay. Elementary school, right?
Elementary.
Yeah.
I call that the pinnacle of custodial. Because like,
Kids are messy.
well, that's where the kids are still throwing up.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you know, high school, the kids at least, know where to go.
They're
You
a
know what
little
I mean?
bit more
Elementary, you're on call. Like someone's gonna pee their pants. You know.
Yeah, that's why I never did
You never did.
I can't.
Oh yeah.
I can't do the bodily fluids.
No, but that's what I love. The elementary school community. It's different. Like high school,
Yeah.
if you're a custodian, you kind of can become part of the woodwork because there's so many people.
Yeah.
You're just not connected. Elementary school, everyone's a character. Yeah. Everyone's involved. You know what I mean?
That.
So
I get that.
So, but what I liked about the job was like, you know, I used to work nights, and that was kind of depressing in a sense. Like there was things I liked about it, but it was lonely. Then when I get the day job, I start my morning, I sweep, I mop, I do the bathrooms. I'm like the toilet paper fairy, stocking all the, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then everyone comes in to the school, and I get to like greet everybody and say hi, and then the teacher spills her iced coffee immediately.
Oh, that's devastating.
That's it. I wanted to do a chart this year of student spills versus teacher spills, like a graph, because
Are the teachers just as bad as the kids?
I think so.
Are they worse?
This year they may be in the lead with like iced coffee spills.
Really?
Yeah.
But is it the teachers knocking them over, or is it like the kids knocking them over?
There's been a student to knock them over, but some
Okay,
teachers just come in with too many bags, and they get the iced coffee at the
We want to be those heroes with
bag.
like one trip heroes.
or die trying.
I feel that really hard.
Yeah. Yeah.
Sorry, I was looking to see
What?
if that was still recording. The glare. Sorry, continue.
No, yeah. So it's one trip or die trying, but and then the iced coffee goes, and then you just, you know.
See, I was actually going to save this for later in the episode, but it's just too good right now. Actually, no, I'll save it.
Okay, all right.
So, like, I definitely want to get back to people, especially teachers, making your life a little harder later. But before I forget, I want to know, like, what does a typical day look like for you? Like, what is your daily, like, obviously you're going to have things pop up here and there that you can't plan for, like the kids throwing up or the coffee spills. I mean, you can kind of assume, but what does a typical day look like for you?
Typical day is I go in, I open the building. There's usually a teacher already waiting for me in the parking lot. Now, listen, school doesn't start till 8 a.m. There's a veteran teacher that's there at 6 in the morning.
Every day.
She's already there.
Yeah.
And I texted her this morning because I go get a coffee, and I said, hey, I'm running late. Sometimes we get each other a coffee, but
that's cute.
I didn't offer this morning. I wasn't in the mood. So I go, hey, I'm running late. She goes, it's all right. I'm in the parking lot playing Wordle. And I'm like, I pull up. She's already there. I pull up at like 6:02. She's sitting there. So I let her in. She walks in with all her bags. I might grab one if she's got too many, and turn on all the light. Oh, turn the alarm off. Am I going through the step-by-step here?
Yeah. Okay. I want to know everything.
Yeah, there's an alarm code, the burglar alarm. I always feel cool when I type that in front of her.
Yeah, kids, so don't break into the schools. There is an alarm.
It'll go off. Yeah, and we will show up. I might show up before the police, actually. That happens a lot. Because I get called, too, yeah.
So it's happened before?
Oh, in my city, it happens a lot.
Crazy.
Yes,
Okay, continue.
A lot of burglars. But, so I get in there, I start turning on all the lights, you know, and then I might sit for like 2 minutes, do a little scroll, sip the coffee, and then get to it. I go up to my area that I clean, because the night guy cleans like grades pre-K through 2, and then I go clean grades 3 through 6.
Okay.
Different wing.
Right.
Start sweeping the classrooms with the dust mop. You know what I'm talking about? You guys loving this?
Yeah, we're going to put a photo of all the equipment. Yeah, the dust mop.
It's a 24-inch if you want to know the details.
Yeah.
And you oil it up, too, so it slides on the floor.
Oh.
You spray.
Yeah. No, I want all the details.
Yeah,
I'm loving
you spray
this.
it with this wick oil, and then it slides. It picks up the dust nice. And then you go under the desks, you know. Some teachers put their chairs up, some don't. So there's new obstacles. Every day is like, there's some teachers that rearrange a room every day, so you have it's like a new level of the video game. Just when you think you had the maze down, you're like, oh no, which way do I go? Oh, okay, yeah. And then everybody has a different amount of trash on the floor. Some teachers nothing, some teachers have it up to, you know.
Really?
Trashed, yeah.
I
don't want to say the teachers, the students, but the teachers.
But still, like, I've never, like, thought to just leave it on the ground like that.
Oh, yeah, I'll sweep out a pile of some rooms, you know?
Oh, my gosh. You have to do better.
No, it's okay. I mean, you know, the kids, it's a lot. They got, like, a ton of kids. there's some teachers that could do better, definitely. But there's a lot of, behaviors these days, and there's a lot of the
I
classrooms
get that,
are
but
loaded.
the kids used to hate this. And I get that they hate it, but like, I didn't really care. When I was a teacher, before the bell rang, I would always tell kids, like, okay, you have to find something on the floor.
I love
And you've got to throw it away before you walk out. And the kids used to be so mad because some of them are like, it's not my responsibility. I'm like, well, it's not mine either.
Yeah. It's
like, I'm not your mom.
Yeah.
And it's not the custodian's job either to be your parent.
No, I love that you said that, though.
No, yeah, literally, like, the kids used to be so mad because the kids that didn't make a mess were like, well, why is it my responsibility? And I'm like, I don't have the ability to, like, sit there and pay attention to who is throwing what on the floor. Like, if you don't like it, when you see your classmate throwing something on the floor, say something.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. It's not my job to mom you. It's not, the custodian's job is not to pick up the pencils that you're throwing or the gum you're putting on. Like, that's not their job.
Right.
Like, that's rude. That's just gross.
Yeah.
I said, so, if you don't like it, first of all, sometimes other people just ruin it for everyone else.
Yeah.
Like, that's life.
Yeah.
There are things that you have to do, like TSA at the airport. Most of us aren't bringing dangerous things to the airport, but sometimes people ruin things for everyone else.
Right.
Sometimes people do things that they shouldn't.
Yeah.
So now you have to take an extra 5 seconds to do something else. It's not going to kill you to pick up a pencil and like make my day a little bit easier, make the custodian staff a little bit easier. If you don't like it, then you tell your friends to stop making a mess. But until then, this is what we're doing.
Yeah.
And you can just be mad about it. There are other things you can be mad about.
I wish more teachers would do that because I remember that from when I was in elementary.
Yeah, I feel like that's common
everyone,
sense.
At the end of the day, pick something up. But no, now it's like, whatever. I hate when I hear a kid go, that's the custodian's job.
Yeah, no.
Like, yeah, I will pick it up, but it's not my job. It doesn't mean you should go out of your way to
make
trash
your job
the place.
harder.
Yeah.
Like, your job is to clean, but it is not to, like, they're making it, they're actively making it more difficult, and that's just rude. Like, that's disgusting behavior.
Yeah.
Sorry, continue.
And a lot of them are going to become custodians when they grow up because of that. That's karma. But, so, yeah, I go in there, I sweep the rooms, I kind of judge who's got the most trash, and then I have, like, a pencil thing where I, like, collect the pencils. I'll put them on a table in the hallway for them. Second chance.
Second chance pencils. I love that.
Then, some days I'm not in the mood for second chances.
Everyone has those days.
Some days the pencils disappear.
That happens.
And I have a stash of them.
Do you really?
Oh, I have like 1,000 pencils. Yeah.
Oh
I have
my
like a
God.
thing. I have like this, I don't know how many.
You could probably sell that to a school system for so much money.
Oh, I have a machine, a vintage pencil dispenser machine that I'm trying to get working again. And it's like, it's a big metal machine. It's like the thing you put quarters in, you press it in, and the pencils come out.
Yeah.
So I'm going to try to get that going on in the hallway.
I love that.
Yeah.
We're going to take a quick break and hear from our sponsors. Be a better you in 2024 with Babbel, the science-backed language learning app that actually works. Studies from Yale, Michigan State University, and others continue to prove that Babbel is better. One study found that using Babbel for 15 hours is about the equivalent of a whole semester in college. Babbel's convenient courses help you learn real-life conversational skills in different languages. Just think about how easy it will be to ask for directions, order food, talk with merchants, all without having to consult language apps while you're on vacation. My favorite thing about Babbel is that its speech pronunciation technology helps you make sure that your pronunciation is correct and also helps you better your accent, which means that I don't feel ridiculous when I'm speaking the French that I've learned. So here's a special limited time deal for our listeners. Right now, get up to 60% off on your Babbel subscription, but it's only for our listeners at babbel.com/Rebecca. Get up to 60% off at babbel.com/Rebecca. Spelled BABBEL.com/Rebecca. Rules and restrictions may apply. Hey guys, I think most of y'all would agree with me when I say you can only really express your true self with your closest friends. My friends know me inside and out, and because of that, I can share anything with them. But friendships, like anything else, can be kind of hard to keep up with when life gets crazy. It can be schools, chores, jobs, or even when a best friend moves and has to change schools. Luckily, Instagram is here to save the day because they allow me to create close friends lists that allow me to send stories to just my besties. Like, maybe it's a funny meme that I found while scrolling, or maybe it's that photo I took while I was ugly crying during that sappy rom-com. I love being able to share that easily with just close friends to give them a laugh. Of course, there are times I love sharing photos to stories with all my followers, whether it's a group photo from a birthday dinner out or a group family photo from a beach vacation. But that video of me being chased by a pigeon while at said beach, yeah, I'm gonna keep that one for just my close friends. There's a saying that goes, it's just the little things, and I swear it's still true. Because thanks to Instagram, I can share that everyday ridiculousness with my close friends. Listen, I'm a bit of an expert when it comes to losing my keys and my wallet and just about anything that I need to leave the house, really. I'll literally have them in my hand and all of a sudden, poof, they're just gone. I swear the cats are moving them to mess with me. And that is why I've been stocking up on tile trackers. I just attach one to my keys, put one in my wallet, in my purses, like really anything that I don't want to lose when I'm trying to leave the house. It's really simple. I just use the app to ring my tiles and I can find exactly where my cats clearly misplaced my belongings. Because it can't be me. Definitely wasn't me. It's by far my favorite feature, and if it's easy enough for me to use, it's easy enough for you to use. Tile has single-handedly helped me not be late to my events because I'm not wasting 10 minutes of my time before I leave the house just looking for my stuff. Add Tile to Life 360 to see everyone and everything in one place. Keep track of what's important with Tile. Visit tile.com and use code Rebecca to get 15% off on all tiles. That's tile.com, code Rebecca. Now, back to the episode.
But anyway, I was saying I sweep the rooms and then I vacuum the rugs. That's the next thing I do. Is every classroom has the area rug,
Yeah.
So I vacuum the rugs, and then I go around and clean the bathrooms. That's kind of my favorite thing.
Is it really?
Yeah. It's the thing that shows the most to me that someone was there. Like sometimes the classrooms, even after I sweep them and vacuum, they still kind of don't look great.
Yeah.
I don't know why.
I get
know
that.
what I mean?
All the things in there are loved and used by children.
Yes, that's what it is.
Yeah.
So
No, that makes so much sense.
It's a grimy vibe. But like the bathroom, like can transform, like with the smell and the look of the toilet. Everything's kind of glistening, and I like that.
That's so funny.
It's satisfying.
It's so funny you say that's your favorite part because someone sent me a story about how that was their least favorite part.
Really?
For a very particular reason. This one custodian, like every time they would go to clean the bathroom, this was also in the elementary school.
Yeah.
And they would find used toilet paper on the floor.
Oh, yeah.
Used toilet paper. First, is that common in elementary schools? I went through
that for one entire year last year. That's interesting you said
Really?
That. Underneath the toilet.
Yes! Is that a thing that kids do?
I think my assessment, my opinion is that it was a kid from like another, like a kid that may have came here from somewhere else and didn't have like proper plumbing and wasn't used to like flushing, you know what I mean, was scared to like flush toilet paper. Oh my god.
No, you're good.
I have this on
you're fine.
Disturb too.
So what they decided to like try and figure out which student it was so they could just have a conversation with them and try to tell them, hey, we can't do this anymore, this is like unsanitary, this is gross. And they ended up being able to look at the cameras and track down which kid it was.
They did. Wow.
They said that it took months, but they were able to do that. And so they called a conference with the kid's family, and they're like, hey, we are noticing like this is becoming a thing. We need it to not, like, what can we do to figure out what's the root of the problem? What can we do to fix the problem? And the mom ended up speaking up and saying like, oh, well, my kid has a fear of overflowing the toilet and being the person to overflow the toilet. So they feel like when they're using too much toilet paper, they just toss it on the floor.
Right.
And the principal was like, well, we need to not do that.
yeah, that's not...
It would significantly be better for someone to have to come and unclog a toilet than to us have to deal with like bodily feces and fluids like on the floor like that.
Right.
And she's like, well, my kid doesn't want to be embarrassed if they're the one that overflows the toilet. And they're like, no, you don't understand. We're not like, this isn't an option.
Yeah.
This is something that has to be done. And this mom just could not get on board with telling their child. They were like, does he do this at home? And she's no, of course not. I don't let him do that. And I'm like, or they were like,
of course.
Then what are you doing? Like, you can't. And they just couldn't win. They literally continued until that kid went off to a different school.
Do the parents always win like that? It seems like these days.
I feel like they do.
Doesn't it seem like it with the most ridiculous thing? Because the kid, I mean, I don't know. It's out of hand. But yeah, the way we solved it was just going around to every classroom while they're in there. Like the principal walked me in with her and was like, and I'm always so embarrassed of this stuff, but she's like, excuse me, so someone's not flushing their toilet paper? And went into every classroom and had that talk. With every kid sitting there like, you know.
Did you end up finding out what kid it was?
No.
But it just stopped. It stopped?
Yeah,
it
stopped, yeah.
Wow, I didn't realize that was such a common thing.
I know, it's bizarre. Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yes.
Okay, so after you do the bathrooms, what's next?
Then, well, yeah, I gotta make sure they're all stocked with the toilet paper and all that. Make sure it's like, you know.
Yeah, the toilet paper
That's
fairy.
yeah, exactly. That's more important sometimes than a clean bathroom.
Yeah, it's having toilet paper, especially for the little kids.
Yes.
Because some of them will just be like, oh, there's no toilet paper, and go on their way.
It's very gross. But teachers, too, you want them to be...
Yeah.
You don't want them to go, ugh.
Yeah.
You know? Then they start noticing how, like, a bathroom without products in it can make someone start looking at all your work. You're like, wait, what is this guy even doing? There's nothing in here.
Okay, that makes sense. Yeah, I never thought about that.
Yeah, really. You could almost get away with a dirty bathroom over a bathroom that doesn't have
products. Yeah.
You know?
Interesting. I didn't think about that, but that makes sense.
Yeah, one of the OG custodians passed down that wisdom to me.
I like that.
Yeah.
You can get away with more if you keep everything stocked.
Stocked, yeah.
Okay, interesting.
Yeah. Say if I run out of time, so I get called for something else, and I don't have time to clean the bathrooms, I gotta at least throw some shit in there, stuff in there, make sure that, you know, everyone's happy. But then after that, I go maybe pick up trash outside with my trash picker.
Okay.
And there's a good time to do that is when the parents are doing the drop-off, so they see me out there. And I kind of wave, you know.
Aww.
Maybe wave to some people, and
show your face, be a part of.
It's a good time to like, politic and
you know. I like that.
So and that's fun too, picking up trash outside with the trash because you find all sorts of.
What's the coolest thing you've ever found?
Cool? I don't know if
favorite thing you've ever found.
Oh, a stolen car, maybe.
What?
Yeah. They'll drive a stolen car behind the school and like light it on fire. Yeah, it's a wild area sometimes.
Okay, that's not like normal at elementary schools.
No. Yeah.
Wait a minute.
Yeah.
What?
It's happened where I've had cars towed out of the back of the school.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
And that's happened more than once.
I've had to have 2 cars towed out. One was lit on fire. I found a motorcycle that was lit on fire too. They steal them. We have a lot of land behind our school, and a lot of they'll like, oh, I found a jet ski back there too. Someone that's stolen a jet ski. Yeah. Yeah. So it's every day is a new surprise, you know?
That's crazy.
And I kind of like it. I'm like, oh my God, who would have ever thought a jet ski?
Did you keep it?
I thought about selling it on Facebook Marketplace.
What'd you end up doing?
I just had it picked up. I called it in down.
Lame.
I know. I was like, I can't deal with a jet. I don't even have water near me. I'm like, I'm good.
That's so funny.
Yeah.
A whole jet ski.
A
Was
whole
it
ass
working?
jet ski. I don't know. The key wasn't there, so I'm not too savvy with jump start and jet ski.
When I imagine that backstory, that's like a spiteful ex-spouse who was like, well, I'm gonna take your jet ski and hide it somewhere.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a bad, or they tried to drive it on the parking lot. I don't know what
That's
happened.
crazy. Okay, so after you do your little treasure hunts outside.
Yeah. We come inside and maybe go walk around, see what's up.
Yeah.
Just check in the main office, talk to the secretary and the school nurse, have a little meeting of the minds,
I like that.
we talk. And that's when the calls would start coming in, though.
Yeah.
And this time, right around, the kids arrive around 8 a.m., calls start coming in.
Yeah.
And now I'm dealing with variables.
Yeah.
And then
Kids throwing up.
Yeah, or like a lot of like teacher stuff at this time, though. A lot of like, you walk down the hall. I can't walk down the hall without a teacher going, I was meaning to tell you this. So everybody I walk by, oh, hey, I'm glad I saw you. You know what? You know what I mean?
Yeah. Hey.
It's never hi.
Yeah.
It's never like, hey. It's always like, oh, you know what?
I need you
my
for
shade
something.
is stuck up. Like I pulled my shade, it's stuck. No, nothing big or bad, but it's like I remind them of like a problem.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Yeah. My heat's making a weird noise, or you know what I mean?
Yeah.
All that stuff. So all that stuff starts happening, but the other back to routine, I do like a breakfast trash run. Kids eat breakfast in the class now. Ever since COVID. I don't know why. We have a cafeteria, but they do they grab their breakfast, grab and go, it's called. Mm-hmm. And they grab it and they go to the class and they eat and spill and
everywhere.
It's disgusting. And then they pile all the milk into the trash,
Ew.
Should be in the cafeteria is what I think.
Yeah.
And so I go around class to class grabbing the breakfast trash, which is fun too because I get to say hi. I'll interrupt the class. If the teacher's like cool.
Yeah.
I don't mess
You
with
always read the room. Yeah.
I read the room, yeah, exactly.
That's important.
But there's a couple teachers that
Don't.
are very good with rolling with it, with me interrupting. Do you know what I mean? They welcome it and they're good at like incorporating me interrupting. It's not like I barge in like, what the F is up,
I
kid?
get you. I get you.
But there might be a lesson going on and I might be like, oh, did you guys know this?
That happens.
Yeah, and the teachers.
If the teachers are okay with it, that's fine.
Yeah, they love it. Most of them love it, but there's some I won't. Yeah.
So you can always tell. Always tell.
Yeah. So I always have fun with that, And then they usually, I'll try to drop a fact about what they're learning, and they're like, yeah, we already knew that. So.
Kids are funny.
Yeah, and I love there's like an autistic class too, they call it the SAIL room. I don't know what SAIL stands for. It's
okay.
I forgot what.
I think each state has like a different program.
Thing, but that class I hang out in for a little bit longer. I always spend a little bit more time, because I don't know, I have fun with those kids.
They're sweet. Yeah. They're so sweet. I love that.
Oh yeah.
Do you think there's like any misconceptions about like what you do that the public has, like anything that they just don't understand or just don't know or don't care about? Or...
Yeah, because I'm in like these different, maybe a couple different Facebook groups with like custodians around the country or like people that follow me on Instagram, and I'll do like a sketch or whatever, something that shows my involvement in the school, and they're like, we're not allowed to talk to anybody in the school, we're not allowed to, talk to the kids or talk to...
Really?
Yeah, and I'm like...
Why?
It just because of misconceptions, or like maybe they're hiring... I don't know what it is, but they keep them like kind of...
So there are
custodians separate.
Schools that don't allow them to talk to the kids. That's crazy.
At all, yeah.
That's so rude.
Right.
I hate that.
I do too. And I think it's because of misconceptions,
Yeah.
Or, they don't think that... I mean, for me, my school, they know, like, I have a good relationship with everybody there,
yeah.
So...
Can you think, like, what kind of misconceptions do you think, like, contributes to that? Like, what do you think are some others?
I think it could be just, like, bad, maybe the school or the district had, like, bad experience with a custodian at one time, so then they just shut it down, Because I'll say, I mean, this is with any profession. There's always going to be like a bad egg.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Absolutely. There's always going to be some people who aren't doing their job well, or breaking rules, or bending the truth, or anything. Like, it happens in every profession. There are teachers, there are nurses, there are people everywhere that are just making it more difficult for everybody else. 1,000%.
Yeah. And then sometimes they look, I don't know, there's some janitors that look a little weird, you know?
Are there? I don't know. Like, anyone can look weird.
I know, I mean, yeah, but sometimes, like, when we gather in one group, I'm like, damn, it's wild. Oh, I don't know. I'm not gonna get it. Shoot, but I'm not really a bunch of dudes here. I was thinking dudes, you know?
That's so funny.
Yeah.
So, like, we already talked about, or we kind of touched on, like, kids making your job a little bit harder than it needs to be. Whether it's, you know, purposefully throwing trash on the ground and not wanting to pick it up, or, you know, the itty bitty is not understanding and, like, use toilet paper being on the ground. What are some other things that go on, whether by admin or teachers or students or parents or whatever, that just really make your life way more difficult than it needs to be?
Oh my God. That list could go on and on. I mean, just from maybe like a teacher that would. Now I understand every time I hate complaining. But,
No, it's okay.
But like, yeah,
Everyone has parts of their job that,
when
like,
somebody like fills a trash barrel and then it's full, like let's say it's full of books, and like you can't lift, like they know they can't lift it. So that's fine. But then the I can deal with that. But then when they put like another thing on top, now the trash is full, but then they add the next layer.
oh no.
It's like a cardboard box, and then all of a sudden there's trash on top of that, and then there's another layer. You know what I mean? And it's just all falling off. That drives me nuts. Just calm me down. I'll come empty it if it needs to be emptied, but don't. But then the sick
It's making
part
more of a mess.
The sick part of me now, though, I kind of like to see how far they can get. I kind of
It's like a what Jenga
yeah.
thing.
I kind of sometimes I'm impressed. I'm like, all right, you guys did.
That was actually really good.
Nothing fell off. Wow, how'd you do it? You know.
That's awesome.
So that, you know, or like parents. We have a really good parent teacher group or whatever. You know. They're
PTA?
great. PTA, yeah. They're great. But like they just put these pinwheels in the yard. Like when pinwheels at
Yeah.
it was really nice. It was a nice little decorative thing for the spring and for whatever, for Pride Month.
Right.
But it's all over the grass. So I had to pick everyone up to mow and there was tons of them to mow the lawn.
Oh.
And I was like, yeah, let's not do that. Find another spot, and then they put them back. They go, oh, just for
decoration.
Just for another. No. Remember, I pulled
never
them all
even thought
out.
about
You have to
that.
put them all back, and now you put them all back. But I love them. They could do whatever. I don't even care. I love them, but I was like, oh my God, really? Let's do something else.
Yeah, I never, like, sometimes I feel like, especially students and parents, like, I feel like teachers are typically, usually, I'm hoping, are better about this.
Yeah.
But I feel like the students and parents especially just don't even think about how, like, oh, their fun little traditions or decorations or
Yes,
blah, blah, blah,
yeah.
impact other people.
Right.
Like, someone sent me a story, and I made this a skit
Okay.
a little while ago, but it's just so wild to me that anyone thought this was a good idea. I have to retell it.
Yeah.
So, this was a high school, and the principal sent out a big email to all the teachers saying, like, hey, teachers, just wanted to let you all know, the seniors were really excited about their senior prank this year, and I told them to bring it. I told them, do your worst. And I even gave them the keys to the school because I assumed that they weren't going to take it too far. And I was wrong. And so he listed out all the things that they did. First of all, they brought so much glitter. So much glitter. It's
Not the
in
glitter.
glitter and sand.
Oh.
It's in all of your school technology. It's in your computers. It's in the keyboards.
No.
It's all the tech is done. Projectors. sorry. We can't get it out. There's nothing
What?
that we can do. Next, the students brought minnows and shrimp and hid them around, not just in like teachers' desks, and but in like ceiling tiles in the ceiling. And they were like, this was over a long weekend, so they've already started rotting smelling and rotting and all the things. Next, what was next?
This is bad.
What was next? Hold on, let me look.
This is really bad. This isn't a prank. This is a war crime.
Yeah. Hold on. I can't remember what was next. Hold on.
Hey, teacher. I have some everywhere. Like a lot of your personal items are now destroyed, and a lot of things that wires and your curtains.
Oh yeah. Okay. Got it.
Yeah.
And then additionally, the kids took whatever kinds of liquids, I assume juice or whatever, but like, splattered them on the curtains or the rugs, you know, things that like teachers are buying themselves.
Oh yeah.
To decorate their classrooms.
Right.
And of course, obviously, personal items got stolen or broken or whatever, and that was the senior prank. And first the teachers were like, what do we do about this? And they're like, well, there's nothing we really can do. Because they also covered up the cameras. And, like, this is a real story. This is true. Like, this happened this year. They covered up the cameras, so we couldn't really see which kids were responsible for what. So there's not really much we can do. But sorry, my bad. And not only were the teachers just expected to, like, oh, sorry, your personal items, sorry, out of luck.
Right.
But they just, oh, yeah. Custodians will take care of it.
No. What?
Yeah. Just assumed.
No.
Teachers and custodians, they got it, man. They'll figure it all out. Don't miss a minnow. Isn't that crazy?
No. I mean, how could the custodian, like, what? You said the technology too, the sand and the.
Well, that wasn't I assume they would be asked to like try and vacuum what they can, and if not, sorry, that's on teachers. I don't know.
Glitter is like
the worst.
Yeah, that's
glitter's the worst. That's something that you only send to your worst enemy.
Yeah, that's a crime.
The worst thing you could ever do to someone that you hate is just mail them an envelope of glitter.
Yeah.
And like you will ruin their next 2 months.
It's the custodian's worst nightmare.
Yeah.
Because it keeps. I've come to the point in my career where I don't even care. Like I'm just like, all right, you want to mess with glitter? I'm not killing myself.
No.
Like
you're gonna have it everywhere.
Yeah,
it's gonna be all over your classroom.
You must like it a lot because that's staying.
No, but that's what I mean by like. First of all, I talk about this a lot. I've talked about this so many times before.
Yeah.
I feel like today's new age like pranks, I hate them so much.
Oh.
Like I cannot stand them. I hate everything about them. And it's just so entitled. Like to actually have the amount of entitlement to assume that you can put raw fish in a school.
Yeah.
And then it's like, it's fine. Is wild to me. Like, I do not understand. To, like, genuinely think, oh, yeah, someone else can deal with this. Someone else can clean that up.
No.
Like, that's disgusting to me.
I wouldn't have done it.
Yeah?
Or I'd be like, or overtime.
Yeah.
Overtime.
Absolutely.
No,
Absolutely.
what?
No.
Make the kids come clean.
Have you ever had, like, situations like that where, like, you're like, this is too, like, someone just made your job so difficult? Yeah?
Yeah, we've had things like, when they have like a party at the school, like a event, and it just gets wrecked. And you're just like,
gosh.
You can't leave it, but like no one's leaving fish in the, the ceiling tile.
That was very extreme.
That is
extreme. That was very extreme.
Also, you never hand kids keys to the kingdom.
No. Who would ever do that?
That's crazy.
Yeah.
That would never happen.
No.
My district, that would never happen.
I feel like sometimes admin, like, not all admin, because there are some really great administrators out there, like my friend Barry.
Okay.
But
shout out to Barry.
Yeah, we love Barry. Barry's wonderful. But some admin just like really want to like be one with the kids, and it's like they're not your friend. You're an adult.
Yeah.
Be an adult. Why would you ever give children the keys to a school?
No.
Sorry, I saw that when someone's. I not only saw it, I also saw it on Reddit. So I don't know if the original poster sent it to me or if someone else saw it on Reddit and then sent me the link to it. I'm not sure. It doesn't really matter.
Yeah.
But literally, I just sat there like, oh my God, I can't believe this is real.
That's terrible.
Yeah. Sorry,
Terrible.
go ahead. So parties, school events.
Yeah, I mean, just where they go overboard or where they make my job harder. Yeah, it's usually school events, things like that. You know, there's one teacher. She's been on forever. She won't even see this because
That's okay.
most of them follow.
Yeah.
A lot of them I'm friends with. You
I
know,
love that.
there's just one that's been around for a long time.
Uh-huh.
Sometimes it's the little things. Mm-hmm. And she eats Lifesavers, the little white ones.
Like the minty
They come
ones.
in a clear wrapper.
Yeah.
And she throws the wrapper on the ground. Everywhere, all over this. And I know that her. I tracked them down. I've watched, I've seen her. She leaves them where she sits, the table. The wrappers are, like she does the sign-in in the morning when the kids come in. They're all on the table and on the floor. So I'll like collect them and I'll like stuff them in her pocketbook.
Does she know?
I don't know. But the cycle continues. She's still leaving them.
Oh
yeah.
God.
Or I'll put them on her chair, or just put like a pile of them there. Like
I love that so much.
Yeah.
That's the level of petty that I love so much.
Yeah,
That's great.
yeah. So I want to buy it if she retires soon. I want to buy
Buy her a box?
pallet.
Or like a
Deliver to her
trash can.
Yeah.
Just buy her a trash can.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
I know.
That is so funny.
Sometimes it's things like that, little things, you know.
What, do you have another one of those stories? Because that was wonderful.
Where people do, you know.
Yeah. I have another. If you want, I have one that someone sent me. If you want me to go first.
Sure. Yeah.
A custodian sent me a story about how they were working and cleaning over a long. It might have been like a break, like school break, because custodial staff still go and like clean during those breaks.
Yeah.
And they get to one classroom, and they see like a big note on the door that said like "Sea Fish Tank." And so they just walk over to this fish tank. It's completely empty. There's no water or fish or anything in it.
Yeah.
And the Post-it note just says, hey, this needs to be cleaned and sterilized and blah, blah, blah. And just gave like whole instructions for this giant fish tank.
No.
And they were like, no, I'm not doing that. So they just left it.
Yeah.
Well, then Monday morning, as soon as they get back to school, or whatever the next school day was, this teacher comes and tracks down this custodian and just starts berating them in front of everybody. Like, I asked you to clean this. I had something that I needed to do with my kids today, and it needed to be cleaned to get done, and you didn't do it, and you're messing up my lesson plan, and blah, 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 and this is your job. And he's like, no, it's not. This is not my job.
Yeah.
Well, it's your job to clean my classroom. No, it's my job to clean the school, and this is not school property.
Yeah.
This is your personal fish tank.
Right.
That I don't know what you're doing with it, but I'm not cleaning it. This is your personal property. It doesn't belong to the school. And she's like, well, I'm gonna write you up, and I'm gonna have administration write you up, and I'm gonna complain that you're not doing your job. And so he just kind of and let her, and let the principal explain to her that no, custodians are not allowed to touch personal information because it's a liability issue. Because if you break something from the school, okay, that's a school employee. It's fine. But if he breaks your personal items, that's a liability issue. So then all of the rest of it's like she made such a big stink about it that the principal told him not to touch any of the teachers' personal stuff anymore.
Oh, good.
So like there were so many like personal rugs that weren't getting vacuumed anymore, and so many like personal things that weren't getting wiped down anymore because this one teacher made such a big stink that he wouldn't clean her fish tank. So the principal was like, all right, don't touch any of their personal stuff anymore. This is just so much easier than that. So no one liked that lady anymore. Do you take that?
No, I don't know. I have it on Do Not Disturb.
That's
so
okay.
That's bizarre.
No, you're fine. Don't worry.
I should have just shut it.
No, it's okay. Just, entitlement.
Yeah.
Entitlement. That's what we mean by some people ruin it for everybody else.
Yeah, no, that's tough.
Yeah.
If that makes me upset, all right? I don't like that, like, expecting you to clean. So if a teacher, though, approached me and said, hey, do you have something to clean this with? Or do you know the best thing I could use to clean this fish tank? Or do you mind giving me a hand? Like, approach me. But if they just flat out were like,
hey, do that. You're doing this. Here
Yeah.
are the instructions. No, that's gross behavior. We don't like that.
I would have been like, this thing isn't even allowed here. Get it out of here.
No, that's gross.
This is, yeah.
Yeah, no, that's, and like it's a fish tank. I don't have fish, but like I do know that fish tank have to be, you have to use certain products with them. Like they have to be like she says sterilized. How do you know that there is even something in that cart that can be used on a fish tank to house fish or an aquarium?
Right.
Like you don't know what she's using it for. That's gross.
That is terrible.
But sorry, you had another story. Go ahead.
Oh, about the school? About,
Just people making your job more difficult than it needs to be.
oh my God.
Like, think about more, like, I'll ask a specific one.
Yeah.
Do you have specific instances with kids, teachers, parents of, like, all those groups just making your life more difficult?
I used to have, like, a parent that would drive me nuts.
Yeah?
I don't know. They could still be around, but,
I can cut it if I need to.
no, it's okay. But like, the certain parents that tend to, like, over the years that I've been on the job, that tend to spend too much time at the school.
Yeah.
This is not.
Like helicopter
Go
parents.
home. Yeah. Go home. You're not a teacher. You're not a student. Why are you here still?
Okay.
Asking me to do stuff.
What
You're
did
not my
you do?
boss either. And you're wearing pajamas.
Oh, no.
And it's not pajama day.
Why?
Get out of my face.
What were they asking you to do?
Just all the time, like, just there, like, moving boxes, or they got, like, I want to rearrange this. Can you help me do that? And, like, stuff in the library. I don't know. Nobody recent. Nobody right now. But this is over the years. And sometimes it's like, hey, I got other stuff to do, and you want to do fun little projects and build a fort here in the school with blankets. I don't know if you know what I like. Sometimes they go set up in the library and they're like, I want to change.
They want to do fun little
or
things.
like, yeah, they take their kid out of class and they're eating with them on a blanket on the stage, and it's like, hey, this isn't. Let the kid go. You gotta go, or homeschool your kid. I don't know. It just bothers me.
It's like they're in your place that you're supposed to be doing stuff. You're supposed to be working.
Yeah.
And it's creating
And
more
they're just
messes in those places.
Yeah. And then like getting books, they're bringing in used books from like Savers, which is, I don't know if you have them around where you are.
No.
It's like a used Goodwill clothing store.
Got it.
Just bringing in piles of books and being like, can you help me unload my car? I got a book. And no one wants the books, and no one knows that they end up right back in the dumpster. Because they're from 1940. You know what I mean?
So they're trying to be so helpful that it's unhelpful.
Yes.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense. And it's
Just,
like,
I know the books are getting thrown out, so I'm carrying boxes,
You're
getting the
like-
cart,
yeah.
moving them in, and then the principal's like, get these out of here. Now I'm moving them out.
and it's taking time out of your day.
Yeah.
And it's heavy.
Yeah, it's like, come on,
Okay, no.
stop it.
Someone else sent me one thing where they had an issue with a parent, a PTA parent that was staying after hours, really just needed to go home, like was doing too much.
Right.
And she had her like itty bitty, like not yet ready for elementary school yet, but was still running around, not being chaperoned or anything, while she's sitting there and just like doing paperwork or decorating or something, whatever it is that the PTA moms do. Which PTA moms, for the most part, we love you guys, but sometimes you need to go home. You do. So they're trying to mop the floor because it is after.
nice.
No. The custodian.
Oh,
The custodian's trying to mop the floor, do their job, their after-school routine.
Yeah.
And this itty-bitty, like, 4 or 5-year-old is just running around. And mom's not paying attention. Mom's not like she's decorating her little PTA bulletin board stuff. And so the custodian goes over to her and is like, hey, the floor is, like, wet. She probably shouldn't be running like this.
Yeah.
And the mom's like, oh, she's fine. No one's here. But they're like, no. I have to get this stuff cleaned.
Yeah.
I, like, can't wait for you to be done. I don't know when you're going home. Like, please.
Yeah.
Get your
Get out.
child. And so the mom just kind of waves him off until little girl slips. And she's like crying. She fell. She got a boo-boo. She's not bleeding or anything. Like, she's
Right.
fine. But she fell, so she's crying. What happened to my sweet angel baby? Like, were you not watching her?
Were you not making sure she didn't fall? Why couldn't you just wait till she was done running? Or why couldn't you just wait till we were done and we left? Don't you see we're using this area? And he's like, ma'am, I'm not responsible for your kid. I'm not a teacher. Even if I was, this is after school. This is after hours.
Yeah.
No one here but you is responsible for your own child.
Right.
I've already told you. I've told you, please get your kid, and you didn't.
Yeah.
She fell. This is your problem. This is my issue. And the mom literally raised such a stink. Principal didn't back up the custodian either. Principal just told, go start on the other side of the school. PTA mom does so much for us. She's so helpful. She does like things that no one else around the school wants to do. You just go start cleaning on the other side of the school, and by the time you get back over here, she'll be gone. Like that was the only thing they did to handle it.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
See, they don't even know what this person's cleaning schedule is. They might have already done the other area.
You have
They
no
might have
idea.
you don't know why they're doing what they're doing. That's why you shut the lights out.
Yeah.
Now the lights are out. Now you slip in. It's dark, and you're on your own. Good luck.
Yeah, it's just crazy. Like, people are just so unconsiderate about those things sometimes.
yeah.
And, like, they don't understand. And
Yeah. I had to get, speaking of slipping and falling, I had, when I first started, it was on one of those vacation weeks where we were there cleaning. We were refinishing the floors, like scrub them down and then re-wax them. And I was waxing my first hallway ever. This was a big deal. I was nervous. I'd never done this because you can mess up if you don't lay it all down.
how do you wax a floor? Like, what's
Well,
that
some people
process?
use like an applicator thing. That's like the new age thing. But like where in Worcester, we're still using like mops. Like
Okay.
it's a bucket full of wax and a mop. You wring it out, and you have to like go over the same tiles twice or 3 times
Okay.
slowly, or you can leave spots. And it dries quick. So that one might have just.
It's fine. We're just using the middle one.
So you keep going over the same spot. If it dries, you could see where if you missed a spot after.
Right.
And if you don't do it all in one shot, it won't come out nice,
Yeah.
So I'm up there waxing this hallway. It's my first time on my own. I'm like, I want this to come out good. And then I look down the hall. I hear the door open. I had waxed past an office that an assistant principal was inside of. It wasn't his office. He just happened to be in there for some reason. And he walked out. He's in a suit. And it went like a cartoon, like his legs went up in the air.
No!
And he just was like trying to grasp something. And his feet went over his head and he fell into the wax and then proceeded to not be able to get up. Was like on the floor, like rolling around in his suit because it's so slippery if it's still wet. Like he was just like, and I was there like this. I was like, oh my God, are you okay? And he's like, I'm fine. And he got up and he tried to run down the hallway and he's holding the lockers and like slipped and fell again. His suit was like covered in wax. And then he went down like a stair. I heard him just go down the stairs and I just stood there like. Now that's going to leave a mark too. Like all the wax. And I'm just like, I'm fired. Like I thought I was going to get fired.
What happened? What ended up happening?
Nothing. I went and told my boss at that school, and he was just like, shouldn't be in here this week about the system.
Yeah.
He goes, he knows what we're doing here. So
Heck
he had my back. I was like,
good,
all right,
good.
cool.
Oh, that's so important.
Yeah.
One question that you made me think of, do you work for the county or the school? Like
The
who do you
city.
work for? Okay, you work for the
City of
city.
Worcester, yeah.
And they assign you to the school.
Yeah, the City of Worcester also is like the Worcester School Department. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and they, so you get assigned when you first get hired, but then to become like a head custodian, like technically I am now a senior custodian, the day shift, you have to like interview for that school,
Interesting. Okay.
The second shift, they kind of can just put you anywhere.
But when you're interacting with people.
Yeah, during the day,
Interesting.
you kind of have to do an interview to make
And then
sure
you said that there's like a lot of benefits and stuff that go into that.
Oh yeah.
Yeah?
That's why I haven't left, because like I've been doing all this other stuff on the side, but this is like I have like great health insurance. I have a ton of vacation time, sick days.
I love
personal
that.
day. It's tough to walk away
Yeah.
from.
No, that sounds amazing.
Yeah.
That's like, it's like heartwarming to know that like, at least we take care of people in some way, you know what I mean? Like,
Oh, yeah. I know.
that's so funny because like for teachers, at least like where I live, retirement's gone away for new
Really?
teachers. Yeah. I was one of the last years that, not that I stayed to be able to receive it, but yeah, retirement's gone away. Master's pay was gone. I think they're reinstating it possibly. I heard rumors of benefits like starting to move away, but I'm not positive
yeah. I'm
yet.
sure
That
they're
it might
trying,
just be
yeah.
a rumor. Yeah. Yeah.
Wow.
So like it's so interesting, like not that there's anything wrong with like custodians having those benefits. It's just
Yeah.
so interesting to me to hear like must be nice.
Yeah, yeah.
That's
No,
so great.
I know, because I think of like other parts of the country. I didn't know, like we complain in our city, but then I look at like they take care of the teachers and everybody does all right, you know?
Yeah.
So that's a good thing.
Do you think there are any other like misconceptions when it comes to like your job, whether they're from teachers or parents, students, like whoever, administrators, whoever?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Oh yeah, there's the idea of, and I play into it a lot myself too, is like that weird like it's a job for like dumber people.
Oh, I
You know
hate
what
that.
I mean?
That's so rude.
It is rude, but like it's always been a misconception that like, you know, why would you become a custodian when you could do something else, you know? Who wants to deal with trash? You know, it's almost like inherent in like little kids sometimes. They're like, I don't know, there's certain kids that'll be like, why are you taking out the trash? That's, you know, like, what do you...
Well, someone has to do it.
Right. Yeah, but trash, I think anything connected to trash can kind of get looked at as like, ew, you know?
That's so dumb.
It
Because
is.
it's so important.
It is important.
And it's so funny because those are the same kids that are like piling on the trash can. And like they clearly don't want to do it.
Right.
Like, and it's important. Someone has to. And like they're the ones that are making the mess.
Yeah. I think because it's more of a job that's easier to get. You know what I mean? That's not like you need, like I was saying.
It's just more accessible.
It's more accessible.
But like
yeah.
there are people in the world who need that kind of accessibility.
Well, that's people. I'm glad. You know what? I'm glad I didn't think I was too good for it, because like there's people that just think that even if they had no other options, they would not do that.
That's so dumb. Like
know,
I know
really believe that.
there is some famous person, I don't remember who, but I love this quote. It's that like growing up you need to teach your children that you should respect everyone in an office or a school or
Yeah.
whatever the same exact way, whether they are the custodian, whether they're the CEO.
Yes.
It doesn't matter because they're all people.
Yeah, I love that.
And
one.
so like you've heard that one before.
Yeah, I've played around with that one.
It matters, and I've never understood the mentality of like not caring about that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like to me, that's just so disgusting
Yeah,
to not agree with that.
I know it is. I laugh because there's a meme. There's all different like versions of that quote.
Yeah.
And I laugh because there's one that I like reworked it or whatever. But it was the original meme is a picture of Tom Hardy, the actor,
Yeah.
wearing a suit, getting into a limousine, shaking an old man that looks homeless on the side of the road on the ground. And it says, "I was raised to treat the janitor with the same respect that I treat the custodian, Tom Hardy."
And that's the photo
And
they
I'm like,
use?
am I the guy on the ground? What is this?
Oh my
Yeah.
god.
Yeah,
That's
it's funny.
That's like, oh my god, the people who are like trying to white knight for a group
Yeah.
of people, but they're just making it so much worse.
Yes, I love it. It's so
Oh
funny.
my god.
Yeah.
That is so
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Kills me.
People are the worst sometimes.
I know,
I
it's
just
great.
can't deal with them.
It's the internet.
Well, are there any last words that you want to leave with anyone in our audience, whether they are also custodians, whether they maybe want to be a custodian one day, maybe they are learning about custodians, like anything at all that you want to leave?
Should I look over here?
It does not matter. You
Okay.
can look. I just keep looking to see if
Okay.
the camera goes
Oh,
off.
okay.
I don't
Alright,
care.
alright.
I'm just looking to see if it's still rolling.
Yeah, last words that for someone that might want to be a custodian?
Yeah,
or-
sure. Anything you want to leave people with.
That you can make anything you do awesome and own it and own what you do and own what you love, you know?
Yeah.
Just own that, you know? Like I never would have thought being a janitor would have been something that's cool. Now all the kids at the school have like my stickers on their Stanley cups at school, like
That's
in their
so
lunch
cute.
boxes. And sometimes it backfires and I have to scrape my own sticker off the bathroom. But it's cool, you know. And
I love what you do and
yeah.
own it.
Yeah.
Sorry, I ADHD. I just like
That's it.
jump
No,
in
that's
there
it.
sometimes.
That's it. That's
I
all.
love that. Well, thank you so much for hanging out with us today.
Thank you. I had a
No,
blast.
this is so much fun.
Really?
Yeah,
Alright.
no, I love this.
All right, good.
I feel like I learned so much.
Yeah.
And like, cause I don't have kids or anything like that, but like I know that if I did, I would totally be that overboard PTA parent. So now I'm like, if in any universe that ever happens, like don't like chill out, Rebecca. Like be helpful, but not
No.
like I think the world in general needs a lesson on being so helpful that you're unhelpful, if that makes sense. So
That's so
I think that
funny.
like that's a good thing to be mindful about in
never
general.
heard that.
So
That-
helpful, air quotes, that you're unhelpful.
Oh my God.
But thank you guys so much for hanging out with us today. I hope you have a great rest of your day, and we'll see y'all next week.
Thanks.
Bye, my lovelies.
Hey guys, I think most of y'all would agree with me when I say you can only really express your true self with your closest friends. My friends know me inside and out, and because of that, I can share anything with them. But friendships, like anything else, can be kind of hard to keep up with when life gets crazy. It can be schools, chores, jobs, or even when a best friend moves and has to change schools. Luckily, Instagram is here to save the day because they allow me to create close friends lists that allow me to send stories to just my besties. Like, maybe it's a funny meme that I found while scrolling, or maybe it's that photo I took while I was ugly crying during that sappy rom-com. I love being able to share that easily with just close friends to give them a laugh. There's a saying that goes, it's just the little things, and I swear it's still true. Because thanks to Instagram, I can share that everyday ridiculousness with my close friends.